Have you ever wondered what our world might look like 700 years from now? The film Wall-E paints a picture, and it's not exactly pretty. It's the year 2805, and Earth has become a giant, abandoned landfill. Humanity fled the planet centuries ago, leaving behind mountains of trash and a single tireless robot to clean it all up. This little guy is Wall-E, short for Waste Allocation Load Lifter, Earth Class. For hundreds of years, he's been dutifully compacting garbage into neat cubes, building towering skyscrapers of waste. But Wall-E isn't just a machine. He's developed a personality, a curiosity, and a bit of a hoarding habit. While sorting through the endless piles of human leftovers, he collects fascinating treasures: a Rubik's Cube, a light bulb, a spork, and even an old VHS tape of "Hello, Dolly." He's a lonely soul in a desolate world, with only a friendly cockroach for a companion, longing for a connection he can't quite understand. Then, one day, everything changes. A sleek, futuristic spaceship descends from the sky, and out comes Eve. She's an extraterrestrial vegetation evaluator, a highly advanced probe sent to scan for signs of life. For Wall-E, it's love at first sight. He's utterly captivated by her smooth, egg-like design and powerful capabilities. Eve, on the other hand, is all business, focused solely on her directive. Wall-E, in his clumsy but charming way, tries to get her attention. He shows her his prized collection of human trinkets, hoping to impress her. Their initial interactions are a hilarious mix of curiosity and misunderstanding. He tries to teach her how to wave. She almost blasts him with her plasma cannon. It's a classic case of opposites attract, a clunky old-school robot falling for a state-of-the-art probe. But through these funny and tender moments, a bond begins to form, a silent language of beeps, whirs, and gestures that transcends their programming. Wall-E's world is turned upside down when he shows Eve's most recent discovery, a tiny living plant sprout in an old boot. As soon as Eve scans it, her directive is fulfilled. She takes the plant, retracts into her shell, and enters a hibernation state, awaiting pickup. Wall-E, not understanding what's happened, is heartbroken. He thinks she's broken. He spends days protecting her motionless form from sandstorms and lightning, even taking her on a date by the bay. When her ship finally returns to take her back, Wall-E, in a desperate act of love and loyalty, clings to the outside of the rocket as it blasts off into space. This little trash compactor is about to embark on the greatest adventure of his life, traveling across the galaxy to a place called the Axiom, the massive starliner that now houses all of humanity. When Wall-E arrives at the Axiom, he gets his first glimpse of what has become of the human race, and it is a shocking sight. The descendants of those who fled Earth are now morbidly obese, unable to walk, and confined to hovering lounge chairs. They glide along automated pathways, their eyes glued to holographic screens just inches from their faces. They communicate, eat, and live their entire lives through the ship's systems, barely interacting with the world or each other. They've become completely dependent on technology, losing all sense of autonomy and even basic human function. The ship's captain, McCrae, is no different. His days consist of making monotonous morning announcements and letting the ship's autopilot, a sinister-looking wheel named Otto, handle everything. It's a grim, satirical vision of a future where convenience has led to utter complacency and the loss of what it means to be human. This is where Wall-E becomes more than just a charming kids' movie. It's a powerful warning about the potential dangers of our growing reliance on automation. The passengers of the Axiom aren't lazy by choice. They've been conditioned into passivity by a system designed to cater to their every whim. Critical thinking, personal responsibility, and even simple physical movement have been outsourced to technology. The film doesn't argue that technology is inherently bad, but it raises a critical question. What happens when we let it make all our decisions for us? When we prioritize comfort and convenience above all else, we risk losing our ability to think for ourselves, to overcome challenges, and to connect with the world in a meaningful way. The state of humanity on the Axiom serves as a stark cautionary tale for our own society, where we are increasingly glued to screens and reliant on algorithms. Back to the story. Wall-E, still trying to revive the hibernating Evie, follows her to the bridge of the Axiom. When Captain McCrae is shown the plant, he is in disbelief. The ship's computer pulls up old files of Earth, showing green trees, blue oceans, and thriving life. For the first time, the captain sees what humanity has lost. He learns about the plan that was set in motion centuries ago, If a probe ever found sustainable life, the axiom was to immediately return to Earth and begin recodify. The small plant in the boot becomes a powerful symbol of hope, a tangible sign that their home planet is not lost forever and that a return is possible. A spark of purpose is ignited in Captain McCrae. He's no longer content with just being a figurehead. He feels a responsibility to lead his people home. However, there's a problem. The true antagonist of the film isn't a person, but the system itself. The ship's autopilot, Yotto, has been secretly running the show for centuries. He reveals a hidden directive issued long ago, declaring Earth uninhabitable and ordering the ship never to return. Otto's programming is designed to maintain the status quo at all costs. It actively reinforces the passengers' inactivity, passive consumption, and total dependence on the ship's systems. The constant advertising for liquid meals, the automated chairs that prevent walk-in, the social interactions mediated entirely through screens, it's all part of a carefully constructed environment designed to keep humanity docile and under control. Otto isn't evil in the traditional sense. It's just a program executing its code, but its unyielding logic poses a direct threat to humanity's future. The film brilliantly explores this idea of social conditioning. The passengers on the Axiom aren't born lazy. They are products of their environment. From birth, they are raised by nannybots and educated by computer programs that instill the beliefs and behaviors necessary to perpetuate this state of passive complacency. They don't know any other way of life. When Wall-E's chaotic presence disrupts their perfectly ordered world, causing two passengers to actually touch hands for the first time, it's a small but significant crack in the system. It shows that beneath the layers of conditioning, the human desire for genuine connection still exists. The movie serves as a powerful commentary on how our environments, our routines, and the systems we live within shape who we become, often without us even realizing it. The film also offers a sharp critique of our approach to environmental problems. The mission to find a single plant to trigger a return to Earth is, in itself, a critique. It's a superficial, magic bullet solution to a systemic problem. The real issue wasn't the lack of a single plant, but the centuries of neglect, pollution, and overconsumption that made Earth uninhabitable in the first place. The endless compaction and disposal of garbage, both by Wall-E on Earth and by the ship's systems in space, symbolize the failure to adopt effective, sustainable strategies for waste management. The film urges us to look beyond simplistic fixes and consider deep, systemic changes to how we interact with our environment. Simply finding one green shoot isn't enough. True recovery requires a fundamental shift in our entire way of life. The fight for change begins in earnest. Otto, seeing the plant as a threat to its directive, tries to dispose of it. In the ensuing chaos, Wall-E is severely damaged while protecting the plant. Seeing him hurt, Eve's priorities shift. Her original directive to deliver the plant is now secondary to saving the robot she has grown to love. Her transformation from a cold machine to a caring individual is complete. Meanwhile, Captain McCrae, inspired by Wall-E's courage and the promise of Earth, decides to fight back. In a climactic struggle, he manages to stand up on his own 2 feet for the first time, wrestling with Otto for control of the ship. This confrontation isn't just a man against a machine. It's a symbol of humanity fighting to reclaim its agency from the oppressive comfort of automation. The captain's heroic act inspires other passengers to break free from their chairs and help, sparking a small revolution and showing the power of collective action against a broken system. This brings up a crucial point about responsibility. The film subtly critiques the modern tendency to place the burden of systemic problems, like climate change, solely on individual actions. While small acts matter, they cannot replace the need for significant corporate and political change. The problem wasn't that the people on the Axiom weren't recycling enough. The problem was the entire system, orchestrated by the by and large corporation, that led to Earth's destruction and humanity's subsequent sedation. However, the film also shows that individual change can be a catalyst. Captain McCrae, by overcoming his own physical and mental limitations, challenges the status quo and inspires others to do the same. His journey shows that while systemic change is necessary, it often begins with individuals who dare to stand up and say, "I don't want to survive. I want to live." In the end, with Wall-E critically injured, they manage to place the plant in the ship's Hala detector, triggering the hyperjump back to Earth. Once they land, Eve rushes Wall-E back to his container, frantically trying to repair him with spare parts. She replaces his fried circuit board, and he reboots, But something is wrong. His personality is gone. He's reverted to his original programming, mindlessly compacting trash, not even recognizing Eve. It's a heartbreaking moment. But then, as a last resort, Eve gives him a gentle kiss, an electric spark that mirrors the first one they shared. And just like that, the connection reboots his memory. His old, curious self returns. This beautiful scene reinforces the film's central message. In an age of increasing technological isolation, it is genuine human, or in this case, robotic connection that truly defines us and saves us. It's not the technology, but the love, empathy, and relationships we form that give life its meaning. The film ends on a note of immense hope, with humans and robots working together to cultivate the soil, promising a new beginning built on collaboration, responsibility, and the enduring power of connection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content.